So here we go, here we go, here we go again. We know the weakness, man. Ow. What's going on down? So here I am. I'm gonna talk a little jazz talk. Let me adjust my seat. Ow. There we go. So we're doing a little drinky here. Drinky. So cheers, everybody. Let me adjust this. I think this is a little too. Is it me or is this too? I guess. Is that fine? Okay, cool. I guess we'll keep it at that. I wanted to talk about something that happened at work, and I was not offended, but I was just like, it's not my say, and I learned something that day. I learned something. The people that I've already watched and already know what I do and all of that jazz, I work at a funeral parlor. I'm a funeral director's assistant. But prior to that, I'm a crime scene cleanup technician. So I clean up crime scenes, suicides, murders, natural death, and all of that jazz. I'm the wolf. If you've seen Pulp Fiction, I'm the wolf, and I'm repeating myself again and again. And stuff. And then now working at a funeral parlor, I'm hands-on. Like now I see death, because as a cleanup technician, the body has to be gone, and then I go and then I clean up the mess and all that jazz. I'm not used to seeing bodies, dead bodies. I'm not used to seeing that and stuff. And now I see dead bodies, and I see them before they get prepped, and I see them at a funeral parlor. I'm seeing that, so it's kind of like, and I'm getting used to it and all of that stuff. So blah blah blah. Anyways, with that being said, something had happened where, and again, I'm learning every time I work at the funeral parlor about certain things and all of that jazz. Let me explain. So there was during my shift, the FD, funeral director, he does his job in the beginning, and he leaves. After his job is done, he leaves, and then I take over the funeral parlor, me and my partner that work there, and we run the funeral parlor and stuff, right? So there was, in the office where the secretary, her place is at, there was a paper bag on her seat where her desk is at. And I was looking for something. I don't know. I went into the office to look for something. And as I did, I was doing something. We were going to pre-clean up something. And there was a paper bag that was rolled up like that. And I had moved it, and I got a whiff of the very, very distinctive smell of faint decomp. Very faint decomp, like death. And I was like, whew. And then I kind of moved it, and then I saw another. In the paper bag, there was a plastic bag, a red plastic bag, which is the what's it called? The red plastic bag is from the coroner's office, from the medical examiner's office. It's the biohazard bag. I work with those as well. I do those as well. So I was like cool. And I saw some shoes, and I guess clothes. So I was like, cool. Whoa, what the hell is this doing in the office? And stuff. So then I went and I got some gloves, and I came and I rolled it back up, and I put it to the side in another office. I didn't know what to do with it, because I didn't know why it was there, and I happened to walk into the office, right? Now, mind you, my DF is already gone. We have a WhatsApp group where we chat each other, if anything happens during the night or when you're doing whatever, you chat us in and stuff. So I was taken aback, and I was like, well, this is clearly, and then I had seen there was a paper on it, with a name. Now, this is December, and we're already the ending of this is the very beginning of December, where the name I saw that was on that bag was of a lady who unfortunately passed away in a car accident. She got in a car accident, and she passed away in the beginning of December, very beginning, and then we had the services for her, right? So when I had found this bag, it was 2 weeks afterwards. There's a process. It's a process when you pass, the services and everything. So, it's a process and stuff. Blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, boom. So I contact my DF, of my FD, I'm sorry, funeral director. I contact my FD, and I was like, there is a bag that I came across, and it has the lady's name who passed away. And I go, there's an odor, coming out from this bag and stuff. I put it in the other office. I go, but I don't want to keep it there because that odor is gonna, linger into the other office. I go, can I put it in the dressing room? We call dressing room where we prepare the bodies. Where not we, me, I don't do that, but where they prepare and dress the bodies, right? And he goes, yeah, just tag and bag it. It was already with a note on it, so I was like, yeah, of course I will, blah, blah, blah. So, I go in and I tag and I bag it. I crunch it up, and then I get another plastic bag, and I put it over the plastic bag, and I closed it, and I put it in the dressing room. Now, the dressing room is, okay, to backtrack, this funeral parlor where I used to work at, it's been around since the 80s. And it got recently bought by another funeral parlor 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. So it was bought. So the other funeral parlor owns it, and we work there and stuff like that. So that dressing room is where they used to embalm the bodies from the prior place. I know I'm confusing it on them, but they used to embalm the bodies and all of that jazz. Now, where I work at, we don't embalm and we don't cremate. They used to do that prior to me being there. Back in the day, they used to embalm and they used to cremate. But since the other funeral director place, or the funeral place bought it, now they cremate over there, they embalm over there, and then they bring us the body, and then they dress them here in this parlor, and then, put them on in the chapel for them to be, received, for the services, right? And stuff. So the thing is, I can't say it enough, the smell of decomp, dead, the embalming fluid, the embalming process, that never really leaves. Now, it's just weird to say, mind you, it doesn't smell as bad, but it never is exactly like fresh, like oh, you can Febreze it all you want, whatever. There's always gonna be a little faint lingering of death. Because they already come embalmed and stuff, and depending on the body and stuff, and I'm being graphic, but then again, that's what my channel is explaining all of this stuff. Depending on the body and stuff, you can just smell it and stuff. So I put the bag in the dressing room, right? And when I open up the dressing room, like, that smell is just like, ugh, it's just like, ugh. So I'm just like, okay, And again, I'm used to cleaning up crime scenes and the blood, the spit, the vomit, matter, decomp, the works. I'm just not used to seeing the bodies and stuff. Blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, why do we have this? Like, what, why? I told my FD, funeral director, why is this body? He was like, it's because the family requested her whatever she was wearing when she passed away in the accident. They want her clothing, the shoes and the shirt and everything. And I was like, okay, my opinion, my professional opinion, I would not recommend the family getting that clothing. Now, mind you, She passed away in the beginning of December. We were like the 9th of December. Say she passed away on the 2nd. We have the services on the 5th. 6, 7, you know, when the coroners, the medical examiners, they bring us the clothing that she was in and stuff. Now, she unfortunately passed away in an accident. Now, passing away in an accident, I don't know exactly what happened, whether it was like, you know, even an accident, whether there was head trauma, you know, if she got cut, you know what I'm saying, or if it was just internal, like whatever, but apparently she must have gotten cut or like boom in the accident, whatever, because any blood, any matter, or anything that it comes out of you, you know what I'm saying, gets on your clothes. You leave that for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying. Then you put that in a bag, and you close that bag up. That shit's going to fucking sell. Just like if you were to leave a chicken out, you know, or like, you know, some rice out. Leave it out in your sink or like in your stove for a day or two, covered. Open up that rice. It's going to fucking stink. It's going to reek to hell, to high heaven. So, cheers, guys. So I tell my funeral director, like, my opinion, I just wouldn't recommend that. And he was like, well, Rose, it's mortuary laws. And our lawyer, you know, that you have to, if the family demands it, you have to give it to mortuary law. I never heard of mortuary laws and stuff. So I was like, wow, I learned something today. Like, wow, okay, mortuary law, okay, so you have to give it to him. I'm like, okay, well, it was in the beginning, okay, that bag had just got there. You would expect the family to get it like immediately. But the smell, and it's not as bad as the way I've smelled, like decomposed stuff, but it's enough to where it was in the coroner's plastic bag, and then they put it in a paper bag, and then I covered it with a plastic bag. But just that small whiff that I got when I opened it and I saw, you know, I guess her clothes were folded and her shoes were on top, and I was like, I wouldn't. Me personally, I wouldn't. He says, I get it, Rose. I hear you, but we have to mortuary laws. So that's the word of the day, mortuary laws. I never knew that. Okay. So I'm like, wow. Me personally, I would say the family comes and say, I'm in charge. I have the bag there. I personally would say, you know, grievances for your loss, and thank you for having us as, you know, doing the services and all of that stuff. Here are her clothing that she was in when she unfortunately, you know, passed away. I would tell the family, like, there is an odor that's unpleasant due to the accident. You know what I'm saying? And I would say, like, you know, and I don't know, like, I don't know how I would even word it, but I would just say, like, you know, there is an odor, and it's not as pleasant. And then being that it's already been a good 2 weeks, I don't know if you really want to have this. Her kids, like, I just wouldn't want to release that to her kids. I would warn them first, and I would be like, you know, just FYI, it's bagged 3 times. You open that up, that smell is going to be even worse from what it was when the coroner's medical examiner brought it to us, and now you come and get it. The smell's just not going to be as pleasant, even worse. You open that up, that smell, and it lingers. You know how, like, I guess I'm going to be dumb by saying this. You know, I fart. Okay, the smell, and it goes away. Fart doesn't stay on the sofa. Well, I hope it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Fart doesn't stay, like, in my pants. And it goes away. I'm being stupid by this, but you know what I'm saying? Like burp smells, but burp flies away. I'm being dumb. I'm being really dumb, but perfume, you spray, like, right now. If I take off my shirt, you can smell my perfume, my odor on it. But I don't know what it is, but fuck, man. Body, internal death, decomping fucking lingers. And it sticks. It fucking sticks to whatever cloth, whatever it can. It fucking sticks. And poof. I would not personally want the family to be okay. Thank you for the bag and stuff, her clothes. If she had on perfume, the perfume's long gone. It's not there no more. Trust me, it's not. And the accident she was in, she bled, opened up, whatever, that, and then being in the autopsy room, the whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, they put the clothes in the bag, close it up, and then they send it to us, and it's just like, whoa. Again, I moved, the bag, and I was like, whew, very, very faint. But I was like, that shit's just going to get worse. I would pre-warn them and say, my professional opinion, like, we can destroy this right now. But unless you really want it, you say, it's mortuary laws. We have to go and buy whatever you guys want and stuff. Okay, If you want to say, I want the clothes. Don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't warn you, because say it's the daughter getting her, or the son, or the husband, whatever. You get that bag, you want to open it up, and to see. The first thing you're gonna do is you want to smell it. It's gonna be on your hands. You open that up, dude. They're just. I would not want the family to have that last. I guess. Smell of it. I get it. You want the clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want like something, but I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm going in circles here now, but I just really wouldn't. And again, like I said, my funeral director, he said he was like, mortuary laws, rules, like, we have to. Okay, fine. I put it in the dressing room and all of that jazz. And again, the dressing room used to be the embalming room, you know what I'm saying? And that already has it's not as bad because we only do dressing, we don't do embalming there, but it still has, you cannot get rid of that smell. You can't. So the smell is still going in there, and stuff, and blah blah blah. Well, anyways, so she passed away beginning of December. This happened like around the 9th when I found I found the bag, but when the bag was given to us, I put it in the dressing room, and we're with the ending of the month now. And 2 weeks ago, I went into the dressing room, and the bag's still there. The family has not claimed the bag. They haven't claimed her clothing, but they want her clothing. That bag is still there. And I walked in and I was like, wow, it's still there. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, like it's been a whole month, and that bag is still in the dressing room because the family, they want it and stuff. We have it there for you, but it's been a whole month. A whole month. If you haven't come for that bag when it first happened, when you wanted it, when the odor was very faint, you haven't come for that bag. Again, the bag is there, and now it's a whole month, and you want to come for it? I don't recommend it, and I advise against it. I totally advise against it. Like, no. Let us destroy it. We'll destroy it for you. You don't want that last smell and thinking, oh my God, after how she passed away and all of that jazz. So, anyways, blah, blah, blah on that. That hit me to where I was just like, man, that sucks. And I had seen recently too, because after all of there's been a bunch of accidents happening where I live in Laredo, a bunch of like fucking accidents happening and stuff, like collisions and stuff, rollovers and all of that jazz. There was I went to the office and there was evidence bag. Something happened in the evidence bag. there was glasses from the person. No, 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 I'm lying. I'm lying. There was a watch from the person, and it's evidence, and it has the name and whatever stuff, because I guess when you pass away, all your jewelry, after investigation, whatever, your earrings, your necklaces, whatever you have on it, they put in an evidence bag, and then after they're done with it, then they give it to the coroner, medical examiner, and then from there it goes to the funeral, and then it goes to the family, who wants it. This watch was like old, your regular old wristband watch, and I guess with the evidence bag, I guess the air in it and stuff, I guess it got moldy. I don't know what happened to this person. I do not know whatever, if they had the watch on, and whether they bled through it, or like if there was blood. It was an old fashioned watch with like not leather, but it was like kind of like cloth, the band of the watch. And again, you zip it, but I guess the blood or whatever fluids and the air, it gets moldy, whatever and stuff. And I had seen it, and I was like, whew, like, whoa, like that was moldy. But that's the evidence. But that's afterwards, when the family wants it. You have to give the family everything. You have to. Unless they say, I don't want nothing, then we destroy it. But you have to give the family all of that jazz. But I saw that watch, through the evidence bag, and I was like, is it me, or is that molding? Like, is that like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's weird working in a funeral parlor and crime scene technician and stuff. The stuff I see, and then you see things every day different. I was like, whew. I would not have wanted to like open up that evidence, like that watch. Hell no. Especially with the mold. Like, it was like moldy and stuff. So I just looked at it, I was like, oh, yikes. Anyways, blah, 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 and that and stuff. So I was just like, And then yesterday, I had seen, there was another evidence bag for the family. And it was glasses. This was glasses, but I just like looked at it, it is what it is and all of that jazz. So I had seen there was we did a service with a young guy. He was 32 years old, and unfortunately it was one of those accidents that there was a head-on wrong way driving or whatever and stuff, and the guy, they both got killed. And so this has been happening before the holidays and stuff. It's just like boom, like head-on collisions and stuff, and this guy, had the service and stuff. And when I saw his picture, like when we put the big screen of the photo, he looked familiar to me. He looked familiar. I couldn't pinpoint. I was like, this guy looks familiar, and I couldn't pinpoint it. And I can't say that I know him or he was an acquaintance, but he just looked familiar, and I couldn't pinpoint this guy. That picture looks familiar. Like, where have I seen this guy or whatever? I tried looking him up on Facebook. Maybe I have him as a friend, or like maybe I just tried to, and I couldn't find nothing besides what happened with the accident and stuff, because it was a big thing. It was a horrific car crash that did happen and stuff. I don't know who was at fault, but whatever. So I was like, okay, for him to have been in, from what the news said, a horrific tragedy accident, he must have had more internal, damage than facial, because he looked great, like in the coffin, he looked great. His face was not messed up or nothing like that. You can pretty much tell, like if they had facial damage, they have to like fix it back together and stuff, and if they can, it's a closed casket. But he was an open casket for how horrible it happened. He was open casket. And I normally don't like to see and go and look at the bodies. I deal with it. Like, I have to go and clean up, and I have to go right there where the body's at and stuff, and just make sure everything's proper before the family comes in and sees them. And he looked, like he was like asleep and stuff, for the best that they could put him in. So I'm assuming it was I don't like to ask too many questions, but yes, I can. But whatever, I can just get the file and stuff. But I think it was more just like internal, like this part or whatever, just because of the way his body was, and normally like there's a lot of people like they're like this, in the coffin, and then or they're like they're like this, or it just depends how the family wants them to be, or like whatever and stuff. It just kind of seemed like, I guess they had to reconstruct up here just because of the way it looked, with his clothes on and stuff. So, but I looked at him, in the I actually like looked at him in the coffin, and I was like, okay, he didn't look the way his photo looked like. It was the same, but his photo just reminded me like I know you from somewhere, but I can't pinpoint it and stuff, and and stuff like that. But I got to give it to the people, the morticians that reconstruct the face and reconstruct whatever they have to do, and all of that stuff. I have to give it to them. Like, a good job to make them look like they're asleep and stuff, to the best of their ability that they do and stuff. So that had happened, and again, I'm still in awe because that bag is still there. It's still there. Excuse me. The bag is still there. If the family comes for it after the new year, I personally would be like, okay, come to the office. Let me pre-warn you first of what you're going to end up smelling once you open it up. And it's been a month. I would pre-warn them. And then if you want it, don't say I didn't warn you. And then I can sleep at night. I can say, you know what, yeah, boom. But I just would not recommend it. I wouldn't recommend that at all. Whatsoever. I really, no, I wouldn't. And stuff, but it is what it is. Mortuary laws. I learned about mortuary laws and stuff. So blah blah blah. That being said, all that jazz. I'm just here doing a little drinking, posting what I post, and doing what I do, and stuff like that. So I'm gonna change the subject and talk about animal now. An animal, because the other place that bought our place, they also cremate animals. There's a cremation for animals and a separate for humans and animals. So there's this dog, and he's a feral dog, but he's a very passive dog. Very passive, this guy. I call him Jack. He's a black dog. I don't know what kind of breed he is. A Labrador, I don't know. He's all black. Big dog. And he's, big. He's well built and everything. And he's around here, like where we live at. So we don't know who he belongs to or nothing. And so he doesn't have a collar or whatever. And there's two other chicks that are there, two female dogs, but they're all fucking missing hair. They're ugly female dogs, that all walking crooked and like, oh man, whatever. Ugly female dogs. And I guess when they're in heat, all the dogs come, and lay around them and wait to see who's next to take care of business, right? Jack included. I call him Jack. And it's been a while. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Now, in the corner over here where I live at, there is a mechanical place where they sell a bunch of iron stuff, like a bunch of iron, I don't know, like this kind of stuff, like iron stuff, like whatever, just a bunch of stuff, blah, blah, blah. And the dogs are there. And Jack, there's a territorial issue because Jack's been fighting with this other male dog that goes there, and then there's two female dogs. Right now, they're barking right now. I can hear the bastards. Well, anyways, so Jack, I guess he goes and stuff. He doesn't let you pet him, but he's not aggressive. For being a big dog of his stature, he's just very like this, like, and he goes, he lays down, he'll lay down like on the side of the street, just like, he lays down on my yard, the neighbor's yard over here. He's kind of like, he's a very like an old yeller. But you can tell something happened to you, dog. Something happened to you, Jack. Like you have a history behind you because he's sad. He's a sad dog. He's just kind of like dope, dope, dope. He doesn't like, whatever. Something happened to Jack. Something happened to his ass. So And then I would see him, and the son, and he's playing, like, he's just like, by himself, like, in the dirt, just, shake it off. And then at night, he starts fighting with this other fucking dog. It's territorial. Something's going on. It's territorial. These fucking dogs have this with those biatches. You know what I'm saying? Like the female dogs and stuff. So he does all of that. So Jack had gotten, okay, so there was a time, I want to say about in the ending of November. I walk to the gym. I walk to my gym. Ending of November, I had seen that from a distance. I'm walking back to my house because my gym it's over here, catty corner. It's 4 blocks away. So I walk to the gym and I come back and I had seen Jack, and the side of his face was like swollen. It's like out to here. It was gross. It was completely gross. I was like, oh my God, Jack. Like, what's going on with you, Jack? His face was swollen, like gross, like that. And I was like, oh, Jack, like, come on. What happened to you? Again, I don't touch him. I don't pet him. Not that he doesn't let me. I just don't dare go to him. But he's very passive. So every time we feed him, he'll just be there like this, like, and then we feed him. And then he'll slowly go and he'll eat it and whatever. His face was this big, dude. So I was like, okay, blah, blah, blah. It so happened that my neighbor, she ended up giving him, not penicillin, an antibiotic pill she put in a weenie, in a small weenie, and she fed it to him. And he ate it. And then literally within 3 days from this, he was back to normal. Like his face was back. And I was like, so she tells me like, hey, I gave him antibiotic. I go, good, because his face was like, it was gross. It was like grossed me out, dude. Totally grossed out. So that being said, okay, blah blah blah. This mid-December, Jack, pobrecito, I come back home, whatever stuff, and I see, and again, his face, the same side is swollen again, like out to here, and I'm like, Jack, oh my God, what happened to you? Like, what happened? But again, I don't approach him. I can get close to him, but I just dare not touch him. Only when I feed him, I'll feed him, and then boom, I let him go, like, like, okay, boom, you're good. And his eye was messed up, like his eye was like swollen, and his face, and he had like 2 cuts, like in his jaw, and they were open. So what I'm thinking is, from the first fight he got into, when his face was swollen the first time, the dog had ripped his face, like, I guess, with his tooth, and that's why it was like this, and then it went back to normal. And this time they fought again. See, the dogs they're barking. They're barking. And I guess he ripped his fucking cuts again, like, boom, boom, and dude, it was like, boom, but this time they got his eye, so his eye was like, it was just, I was like, Jack. So my neighbor, she goes, I'm going to put him in my yard and close the backyard and keep him in the backyard, and I'm going to try to give him some more antibiotics, to see whatever. I go, his face is cut open, like it's open, he needs attention. They had called the Animal Protective Society of the animal people. They come and get him. I'm like, dude, if they're going to come and get him, they're going to take him and they're going to give him the shot. They're going to give him a lethal injection, and he's going to go straight to bed. Now, Jack is a wild dog, but nobody knows who he belongs to. He just came here and he's just kicking it and all of that jazz. So he doesn't look, when you see like a wild dog and they're all like no hair and they got ticks and they got fleas and they're all, their eyes are all like full of mess and stuff. He's not like that. He's like a regular dog. Somebody abandoned his ass and he's sad. He's just kind of like, ugh. He's got a story behind his ass. There's a story behind your ass, Jack. And he protects these 2 fucking chicks. And there's a territorial war going on with that other bully dog who happens to kick his ass. So I'm like, oh man. So we've had Jack for a week now, full 7 to 8 days in my neighbor's backyard. She locked it, whatever and stuff. She gives him the water. We give him his food and stuff. But when I had seen him, dude, his eye was just like messed up. I was like, on his face, and then I saw those two ripped up cuts and stuff. I'm like, Jack, damn it. For such a big dog, you sure don't know how to kick some ass, because he gets his ass kicked. And mind you, he's not sick. He's not a sick. He's just got his ass kicked. If you call those people and they came to look for him, to get him, but I guess he wasn't there before my neighbor put him in the yard. He wasn't there. He took off somewhere, and then they took off, whatever. I go, they come and get him. They're taking him straight to the electric injection. And night. So I'm like, dude, he's a good dog. He's a really good dog. Like, why do we have to get him to sleep and stuff? But that's what's going to end up happening. We've had him for a whole week. She's trying to cure him. And she said, that she saw, right now, from the way his face was now, he's back to normal. But his eye is way better. And it still looks bad. Like, his eye's not healed yet. But it's not popped out. It just, I don't know. It just looks weird. And I can't really tell from his cuts because all of his hair and stuff, but it's not the way it used to be. Now it's back to normal. So I come in the back and I'm like, hey, Jack. And I notice, and now he waggles his tail, like, he's like, when he sees me, like, he gets excited, because he knows that I'm a cool cat. And I feed his ass and stuff, and I give him some turkey. I had made some turkey stuff. He eats and stuff, but he wasn't like that before. See, they're outside barking, but these are the other dogs outside barking, because Jack is still in the back. He's not outside yet. But my neighbor said that she noticed that he's trying to get out of that, where the fence is at. He's trying to dig a hole to go out because he wants to go to his turf, or right here, this corner, where the other females are at and this other bully dogs are at and stuff, and blah, blah, blah. I think the girls are in heat again. They're in heat. And Jack knows it, and he wants to take her some business. And he's trying to dig his way out, and there's like a small hole, so they went and they put the dirt back. My neighbor did. So he won't go out, and she put the trash can there so he won't go out. So anyways, blah, blah, blah. That's the story of Jack, my Jack and stuff. So I really wish I had the funds to say, you know what, take him to a vet, fix him up, give him a bath, take out whatever fleas. He's not ticked up. You know what I'm saying? Do the injections on him, give him his vaccines and all of that jazz, fix him up, fix his eye, and he could be a good house dog, or like just a back dog, whatever. But he's feral, and he wants to protect, his turf and stuff. He's like, what's going on downtown? I gotta protect my ladies. Ow. So, but anyways, that's the story about Jack. And stuff like that. So we don't have a service. For the new year. We do have a service for the new year. It's going to be on Friday, unless we're only Monday, Tuesday pretty much. Unless there's a service on Wednesday or Thursday, which I doubt it. I have a service on Friday, the first service of the year and stuff. I did a service on Christmas. I actually worked on Christmas. There was a funeral service on Christmas. And I remember when they called me to work the service, I was like, there's going to be a funeral on Christmas? I was like, wow, that's sad. You know what I'm saying? Like, might as well be raining on a Sunday, Christmas, and a funeral, But I did a funeral service on Christmas. On Christmas, I did that. So, that was that and stuff. It was a military service. It was very nice and very, very, very respectful. Very respectful. So when you see the flag, and he was with honors and stuff. So that was that and stuff. Trying to get a little funny here now. I'll say some funny stories. I know something happened where I was like, hang on. What happened? I know I had to do with some bastard man that they pissed all over the fucking place or whatever. Like, I guess, there's a urinal and I don't know if I don't, you know what I'm saying, like, you can get in it, whatever, but you end up just pissing all over the place, and then you're slippy slidey in the restroom, and it's just like, and it just smells like a urinal or something happened. It was something stupid, and I was like, oh God, uh, and stuff. But other than that, blah blah blah. Um, what else can I say? What else can I say? Hmm. That was that, and I guess all that jazz on Broadway. Wishing Jack the best of luck to get healed, and hopefully he can be the king of his domain and do what he does. Because we're gonna keep him here for so long, and then just heal up, Jack. And I really wish I could do it. He's not a sick dog. He's just hurt. He's injured, but he's back to normal on the swelling, and his eye it needs to heal up a little bit more, but his eye's a little still defective and stuff. But he's he's at this thing, so he's not hurting, but we have him there, and he's in the backyard and trying to dig his way out to get to his lady ass. My lady ass. I love my lady ass. So blah blah blah.